Hello, welcome to our how-to for Process BI video where we're going to explain how to use Process BI to gain visibility into your workflow data, and we're also going to explain how to optimize your workflow processes within your organization in this quick video. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing first, with Process BI, we're going to utilize our process dashboard to get started. The first thing we are going to want to do is filter by year, because we're really focusing on our optimization of our process, our visibility. And so when we filter on our year, then we're filtering down to our 933 processes for 2017. And one of the things that we're looking to do for Process BI and understand is to really understand, why are people rejecting requests? Do we need to go to our form and maybe add a required field? Is there missing data? So with that said, the first thing we're going to do is filter by our year and look at all of last year and say, okay, there was 933 workflows within our organization. There's these credit memos, the new customer, and a PO request. So let's filter by rejected, because these are the processes that we really want to take a look at. We want to understand why were these rejected. So there are 21 total processes, workflows rejected. And we can see that 17 came from our credit memo, 3 came from our new customer account, and only 1 PO request. So maybe our PO request, maybe it was too large of amount. Maybe someone was requesting $1 million and we didn't have the funding for that PO request, so we went ahead and rejected that. That may be an acceptable use. But it looks like, our credit memo requests specifically, that there are a lot of requests that are being rejected. And with the credit memos, usually there's a problem with a part or something. So we want to understand, why are these getting rejected. So we'll go ahead and usually those go through as approved because there was some deficiency. But in this case, we've rejected some. So let's go ahead and hit check the box for credit memo. So we can see along the top, we're looking at 2017 rejected credit memo request. And then we're going to go ahead and filter, or click to our next sheet here. And for the rejected requests, one of the things we can see is that the average duration to complete these requests is really long. We have 2 of them here that have taken over 20 days, and actually 3 of them with our 60-day here that's taken 60 hours to complete. So we can also go to our next sheet here and look at the individual names of these processes. And we can switch over to what we're really interested in, is the people that have actually rejected it. So we've looked at the year of 2017, we've looked at all the processes are rejected, we know we're filtering on credit memo, but what we don't know is, of all of the tasks that were assigned for those processes, who actually did the rejection piece. So we're going to go ahead and click on the reject process here. And now we can get to our individual employee. So this employee is the one that has done our rejections for all of our credit memo requests. This leads us to, that visibility into the process. We've went from our workflow down to our individual process for our credit memo to year of 2017, and then we said, who's the person that's rejected it? So it's been only 1 employee here. So we know we can go talk to that employee at this point. So we know the employee has rejected them. Why are we rejecting these requests? And once we understand, the employee says, oh, they're requesting credit memos for things that we don't give credits for, or yeah, there was missing form data, so we had to actually reject the request for them to fill out the form differently. Well, then it gives us a chance to optimize or make our process more efficiently, add additional data and required fields to our form. So that's our first thing here on how to use Process BI to get some insight. Let's just go back to our configuration real quick, and I'm going to switch over to days and switch our configuration to 7 days so we can really get some more metrics down here. Put this at our 30, and we'll leave this at anything over 60 days. We'll be good there. All right. So now we can flip back to our next task that we're going to try to accomplish with Process BI, and that's getting going to optimize our process. And so now we're looking at our process, and we're really looking at how are we doing on completed processes. So for completed processes, we want to go to our process duration sheet. So again, we're going to filter by 2017. This will help us understand for last year how good were we on meeting our SLAs and our time frames. So the first thing we do when we filter by 2017, we want to also maybe filter again by our credit memo request, because we have an SLA within our organization that says a credit memo has to be completed within 5 days. So we can see already in 2017, June, we were meeting SLA. Looks like July we were meeting SLA, and then all of a sudden in March, our SLA, we have 62 average days to complete our process. So we can click on, certainly click on this process here, which will then break it down by day so that we can see, okay, 78 days on this. We can also see over on the right that there's really one process that took over 60 days to complete. So maybe that's the process we want to actually drill into and understand why we missed this SLA. So in order to understand why we missed the SLA, the first thing we need to do is we need to go to our understand what our form is that we missed the SLA on, and it happens to be this credit memo here, 50318. So what we could do is actually click on 50318. Now we're filtered by that. We can remove our 60-day filter, our March filter, because really we're just looking at this specific process. Now we want to understand who all participated part of this process, who was assigned tasks for this specific credit memo, and why did it take so long to process. So we can look at our task-based dashboard here, and it shows each one of our tasks, what the different statuses were. So we had 10 complete tasks, we had 3 approvals, we had 2 reassignments. Those reassignments are probably suspicious of why it's taking so long to complete this request. So if somebody keeps on reassigning a process and not working it, then those are probably the people that are actually making this process take longer. So we can see there was 15 total tasks, and we can see the time frame that the tasks were assigned. So this process, taking over 60 days for this credit memo has definitely an issue. So we can look at some of the durations for the task and see that it's taking longer in days to complete these tasks over time. And we know that most of the time that we can see some of the tasks, 33% of those tasks were on time, but then we can also see that 66% of those tasks were late. So it's not only a problem that our customers not getting their credit fast enough, but we also see that there's some late assignments that people aren't completing. So we can click on our late assignment here, because maybe that's the employees that we want to go talk to for this particular process. So now we're filtered by our credit memo, by a specific memo, and tasks that were late, so that we can get to the detail sheet. And the detail sheet is really going to have our credit memo, all of our tasks, the names, credit analyst, review request from the analyst. We have supervisors in here. So in this case, we can go look at all of our assigned users. So that's what we're looking to get to at the end of the day, is who should we go talk to, who should we bring together and talk about this individual credit request and why this credit request took so long to complete. So hopefully you've enjoyed this quick video on how to use Process BI to get insight into your workflow and form data, and understand how to optimize your process and how to get that visibility into your process. Thank you.